All right, welcome to another episode of the Mentor video. It's your host, Jack McCaig. Okay, so this one, I'm going to answer a question, and it came in. I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to get on to something else. Okay, so here's the email. J Baba, happy. Oh, that's my answer to him. Sorry, J Baba, happy to assist one there. I will answer below. Questions below. Okay, a little redundant. Anyway, this was his question. This is Joseph, whom you have helped many times. We've spoken on the phone, and you basically donated the trust package to I. So many thanks, and God's gaze be on you, dear Jack. That's so sweet. Thank you. Had a couple of questions for you and really, God bless you back, Joseph, and your family, your loved ones. Okay. Had a couple of questions for you, and any insight is deeply appreciated. Okay. I do have one. That's a one, sorry. He had a series of questions, and they're good ones. One. Do you have any recommendations or reasons to or not to be legally married to the mother of my child? Good question, and a lot of emotion they wrap into our training into this one, right? All the movies and just from your birth and what you're supposed to wear, just the whole ceremony and just the whole everything they build into it, right? Okay. So that's a big question, but let's actually answer it in a way that, let's look at my answer. Okay. That is a non sequitur, meaning they don't go together. They don't go together. Legally, joining persons would limit their financial viability, so I see no reason to join persons, which is what legal marriage does and nothing else. If you both are trustees for the trust you create, and your child is beneficiary, that is legal marriage under God and the legal law. But it uses different lingo, but it joins you under the love and control from God instead of we, Satan, Maya, God's shadow. I think this is important for people to understand. Like, the trust is an actual contract with God, and other businesses you sign under a contract with Satan, because there's corporations of the In God We Trust. You can use them to access credit, but that's about all you want to do with them, because you don't want to run money through them and stuff like that, unless for, advanced methods in corporate credit. That's a reason. But let's talk about this. My work's really about running businesses. That's what's going on. A person. Right, see, people can get married. Yes, yay, happy, woo. But that has nothing to do with legality. That's persons. That a person is a business type. So we're learning in my work. I know we're learning. We are learning in my work to run different businesses, and that they have different attributes. And so we have to learn, this, like the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, is a body of rules, the United States Code, and that part of, an act is an insertion into the United States Code. That's what an act is, if you didn't know. Like an act, like we're putting on an act. Anyway, so you put it in there, and, that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and that pertains to persons only. It doesn't pertain to other business types, so you can use it to your advantage, in personal debt, but no other type of debt, for example. So we're learning about, how to run different businesses, and we didn't even know we were running different businesses to begin with. We were like, oh, this is me. No, that's a business. That's not you. You're a human. You're with God. And everything else you're running in business is just, with money, anything to do with money and businesses and owning things and through bank accounts and on with the paperwork, right? That's all business. So I have an MBA. I have a master's in accounting in like 30 years plus. And experience in business. So that's all I'm trying to pass along to you. How to be safely under the authority of God and to complete legal, legitimate business and have no problems. And so we're back in this question number one. It's a big question. The rest are good too, but this is a big question. I wanted to dive in here and like mentally separate this thing from people that this is you. You know, this is a business, a person. This is an LLC. This is a C Corp. This is a trust. These are all types of businesses. Okay, so the nuts and bolts of this question: a person can be used to access credit if you get, quote, married. That's joining two persons together, which actually limits their credit, because what if one of those persons has crappy credit and they have like credit linked? Well, let's say they both personally sign on a credit card and you know, one person's credit goes horrible and they can't pay, and so that one card's too much and the other person had nothing on their credit. Well, that would affect the other person's credit and like bring it down. So now you're two down on credit. So there are ways it can like totally screw over like both persons' credit by joining them together in any legal way. So I recommend don't do it. Why do it? But they're training us to do it all the time and putting all this stuff in it to limit our credit and business viability. They're trying to they see that as you know, a legal way we can be doing a little bit better in our lives, so they want to limit that. So they always train us the opposite way. So, you know, legal marriage has absolutely nothing to do with, you know, partnership and love and family and none of that stuff. That has, you know, this is just them training us another time to do something stupid instead of something smart. And they'll be doing something smart and they want us to do the stupid thing. It's embarrassing to get caught every time. Okay, let's move on down here. Okay, let's move this up a little bit. 2. Thoughts on child's birth certificate, social security number, trust, etc. Or are there any specific legal things you would or wouldn't do for your child if you were about to have another? Such a great question. I mean, it's a really good question. My answer: it is for their person, a business, so whatever. It doesn't matter that much. It will be used to get credit and license other business entities such as the trust you will be under. It is the birth of the person, the business, not the human. So it really doesn't matter that much. And that's true. Why would you, if they're giving away like a free business at birth with Satan, you know, that allows you to license other businesses, and there is no other other banking system or money system really going on that's not satanic, okay? There isn't one. There's no alternative to the one that's out there, do you see? So that kind of thought just puts you into a super much more difficult position. You're going to end up using cash, which is the same thing. Why not access their credit? Why not get smart about this thing and take as much as you can from them? Do you see? It's just paperwork. And they're hiding easy ways to get at their money and credit. I'm unhiding them. So I hope that explains number 2. That's not as complex, but it sort of builds on that question number 1. Okay, good. Number 3. I've been wondering why Justin Dahl's debit card said business when the trust package explicitly said to make it a personal trust. What's the difference in either case? Answer: different banks just allow you to put whatever you want on the card from a few choices. What he has usually is just you have to ask for it is all, and not all banks do it, but most do. I actually could have answered that better, and I have before. So that's the way I thought he was asking about it. But it's really, I've seen on Justin's card, it says like his name and his trust, and you just request it, and they print it on your card. So that was one answer. The other answer, I'm going to answer bad again because I'm forgetting again. Yes, usually. So okay. Sorry. Thank you for working through that pause with me. See, whether a bank calls it personal or business when they ask you a question, that doesn't matter. That's like a bank's designation. That doesn't have to do with anything really, for you. If they open an account with that trust, that's all you want. So I have the feeling that the banks don't want to have a tax-free business, but understand, because they're trained to churches, do you follow me? That they're trained that churches could be tax-free, do you see? So I say personal because you're going up through the ladder, through the lawyers, and all the training's the same mentally. They're in a very narrow construct of mental ability. So they understand that, something you can do just personally or for a church, which is both are neither businesses in their minds. You see? That those are, things that might not have to be taxed, whatever, they're opening up. There's no mental hurdles for anyone to overcome, if you say that. It makes sense, and your name of the thing is Christian something. So it's very few mental hurdles to overcome. It's usually very easy. If you say business, they say, oh, it's a business trust. And every bank I've been into has a strict policy against business trusts. And I don't even know what that means, because how a business, a corporation and business, those are synonyms to me. So, anything transacting business of any kind with a bank account is a business. So when they say personal, it just doesn't, or, it can't be a business trust. That stuff actually doesn't really make any sense. It's just some of their construct language they have in their mind, these little banker slaves, that they say that really doesn't have meaning in a way that they think it does. Like, you see, they're caught in a mental construct. So I hope that gets you out of their mental construct. Say personal, if they say, oh, we have to have a business one because of X, Y, or Z, be like, oh, okay, that's fine, whatever. It's no big deal either way. It's an internal designation to the banks. Who cares? I just want a bank account. Call it what you want. Okay. They're just such good questions that Joseph had I wanted to go through. Okay, and I redacted his email out of here and stuff, so you gotta get in touch with him and give him a hard time. He's a great guy. Okay, 4. But people I do this work, that are in tough situations financially, I do, get an okay to do it, that I can use their work to publicly help others, and they're fine with that. So anyway, it's part of it. There's no guarantee it works. There's no, some other things. You get service when you're able to pay, and I only have very limited clients I take on this way. But I wanted to see that I do, and it's very constructive when they're great people like this and a great family and so on. So, and I love how far he's gotten in his family. And okay, number 4. I've been successfully accepting grants in check form to my private trust written to the trust name. Recently verified it was possible and then deposited a payroll check written to my person's name. Would you advise against this in any way, or should I do something different? Great question. And so many people ask this question, I just wanted to do this one on this video too. Answer: it is okay to do, but the person still has tax obligations from contracting the work through the person instead of the trust. It sounds like you are transitioning properly to using only the trust and doing the steps correctly as you get there. Good job all the way around. Again, thank you. The blue is him, right? Okay. Again, thank you. And as always, any wisdom or opinion is highly appreciated. Would love for you to baptize my child. Oh, I missed that. Wow. I have to write it back. That's so amazing. Jay Baba. Well, I can be present for that, and I baptize myself often, daily in the summer, maybe. And I have just done that, so yeah, that sounds good. I forgot to answer that. Love, J Baba. Okay, so this last question. I hope you understand that, right? See, you could have, we remember when we talked about in the first video or second in this mentoring, remember the 3 attributes that we're going to give the person, right? No income of any kind, no expenses either, right? It's not transacting, right? Doesn't hold assets of any kind, doesn't own a car, it doesn't own a house, doesn't own anything, you see? But it has perfect credit. So these questions all relate to those 3 attributes, okay? So he's transitioning, he and his family, they're reorganizing their life around God and the trust in God. And they're asking great questions on how to get there, because you can see, like, everyone, these questions were super relevant because everybody has them. Like, what do I do about these things on the transition? So that's why I was really keen to do this as it relates to the first mentoring video. I think this, really brings it all around. Okay, so he has, Joseph is using his person to have a job. Okay, that's a business to work for someone else, and there are tax obligations potentially with that. But he's passing it through, and the check comes to him, he drops it in the trust. Fine. You still may owe personal taxes, right? From working through the person. You want to work through the trust and contract through the trust, and then tax obligations go away. Okay, so this is a transition. He's using the trust now, but he still has his tax obligation from where he's currently contracting to do this quote job thing. Okay? I thought this email kind of brought everything around to what we just discussed in this first, 3 mentoring things, to seeing how it plays out in our life. And that's why I thought this email was so particularly good to bring us up to speed, okay? So, again, this is how it relates to an individual, how all those things we talked about. Now, what are we going to want to do? We're going to want to replace the use of the person, right? We're going to transact with the trust instead, right? So to jumpstart that, I want to let you know, I'm not going to, again, you're going to have the packages to do this work. I assume that you have that. And one of the things that's going to be coming up is a 6-month webinar on corporate credit only, because it's such an important topic once you understand this, okay? This mentor thing is going to be ongoing. I'm not going to stop it. And so in the beginning, I'm going to jumpstart you on the concepts, and then every day it's going to be ongoing. It's never going to stop. We're going to not be doing free emails basically in the future. And so you get in the mentoring program, which is very affordable. You can get all your questions answered through email for free still there. That's what we're going to change it over to, okay? But you see how, like with Joseph's question here, there's so much that many people can gain from it. And by, I'm not going into many other potentially relevant or non-relevant topics like I do on YouTube. This is only in this work, how my financial work goes together with our daily lives, that kind of stuff, in an ongoing way with questions that are up to the minute. You may get a video from, like, this stuff is always relevant, but you'll always have my most recent what's going on, every week. I think that's important to have, so I can keep the people that really want to do this work well, for very little money on a monthly, super informed on every detail. They don't have to wait for a new package every year or two or something like that to get a little information. They can get it all in a very current manner that's relevant to their situation right then. And this makes me more affordable than an hourly rate, and I can get into so many more things for so many more people. and kind of bring it all together. So I'm finding it's a better use of my time and a better use of your money is what I'm trying to do. It's not like I'm making more money doing it, but my goal is to answer these questions for people in a way that you don't have questions anymore. That's my goal in my work, is to make me not needed. Here's the information, just I'm trying to get it out in a way that you can use it all day, every day. Okay? You with me there? Okay, so, great questions, Joseph. Thank you. And the thing we're going to move on to next really is with that discussion of corporate credit. I'm going to give you a jump start here for people that are, getting into corporate credit or whatever. Look, you have to know a lot more than I'm going to tell you right here, right now. Okay, but for those people doing it with the package, I need to address some of their stuff a little bit. Okay, here's some basics, all right? And to let the people that, don't know anything about corporate credit, let me show you I do know something about it, and I'm going to show you I know something about it, all right? Here's what you want to start with. You want to start with 3, if you can, okay? Here's like kind of an optimal start. There are other ones too. But here's kind of a generic optimal start way to get, to move from your person's credit to your trust credit, and to use your trust credit cards and credit accounts, okay? Here's where you want to start. You get a Capital One Spark card, of which there are multiple kinds. You see them all? This one right here, Spark Classic, is super easy to get. My person had a credit score of, 590 or something. 600, somewhere in there, and I still got it for my trust because my trust had good credit. I built it up. But anyway, if you have good personal credit, you can get this one real easy. If you have great personal credit, you can get this super easy. And basically what this is going to do is jumpstart your credit profile for your trust and make it viewable out there on Dun & Bradstreet and Experian and so on. 2 credit accounts you can get immediately that report are Uline and Granger for your trust. You want to do that. And here's where you get the information for your trust, Christian Ministries Trust. Here, your report to see how you're doing on NAB. And here it is. See right now, horrible personal credit, right? But really perfect corporate credit. So it's just proof that, this is a super valuable service that I'm providing. And then the daily questions will be in here. But, that it's a big topic. Because, it's like, oh, how do I, all the personal running money, you have to learn some new skills to run a other type of business, whether it be a trust or LLC, C Corp. It's actually, they're all the same in business credit. So kind of got to go through that primer course that I'm going to have available. It is available when we open up jackmccaig.com. I guess it's open if I've done this. Well, anyway, when that opens, you're going to see a 6-month course that I'm going to add to the package. Basically, there'll be the package, then there'll be the 6-month course. So you'll see that that's a really important thing to get into too. But here's your ongoing way to get information every month. Thank you, Windows. Okay, so that's the basics. That's hope you enjoyed this week's mentor video, and it kind of got you to a good understanding. We're hoping to have jackmccaig.com open on April 1st, so we'll see. And there'll be more available there. So God bless your success, and thank you.